Did you know that some of the deadliest mountains in America are not the tallest, most remote, or most technical peaks? They are the ones you can drive to, the ones with parking lots, the ones families attempt on vacation. Welcome to a list of the deadliest mountains in America that most people fatally underestimate. Every mountain on this list has one thing in common. They look easy, they look safe, and that illusion has killed hundreds of people. There's a mountain on this list where you can take a ski lift partway up and still die from hypothermia 2 hours from Los Angeles. Number 3 has steel cables installed to help you reach the summit, yet more than 60 people have fallen to their deaths using those very cables. The second mountain on this list is only 6,288 feet tall, shorter than most Colorado peaks, yet it holds the world record for the worst weather ever recorded and has killed more people than peaks 3 times its height. And the final mountain sits inside one of America's most visited national parks, has a maintained trail for the first 6 miles, and kills climbers every single year because they show up in sneakers thinking it is just a day hike. These are not Everest, these are not Denali. These are mountains in your backyard that kill precisely because people do not take them seriously. But let's start with number 1. A mountain in California where the Park Service installed metal cables to make the climb safer. And those cables have become the scene of some of the most terrifying deaths in American climbing history. Mountain 1, Half Dome, California. Half Dome rises from Yosemite National Park in California, reaching 8,846 feet or 2,696 meters above sea level. From Yosemite Valley, it looks exactly like what its name suggests. A massive granite dome that appears to have been sliced perfectly in half. It is one of the most photographed landmarks in the United States. The hike to the summit covers roughly 16 miles round trip, with an elevation gain of 4,800 feet. What makes the hike famous is the final 400 feet. To reach the summit, hikers must ascend a steep granite slope using a cable system installed in 1919. 2 steel cables run parallel up the face of the dome, supported by metal posts. Wooden planks are placed every 10 to 12 feet as footholds. The cables are raised each year in late May and removed in October. When they are up, the route looks assisted, almost safe. It is not. Since the cables were installed, at least 25 people have died falling from that section alone. If you include deaths on the trail leading to Half Dome, the total climbs to between 60 and 65 fatalities. The majority of cable deaths occur when the granite is wet. Rain turns the polished rock into something close to ice. On July 13, 2024, Grace Roloff, a 20-year-old college student from Arizona, reached the summit with her father. She was experienced, having completed Angel's Landing at Zion. She bought new hiking shoes for this trip. At the top, she was smiling, hugging her father, thrilled to complete this bucket list hike. 10 minutes later, she was dead. As they descended, a thunderstorm rolled in. The sky had been clear at the summit. Within minutes, rain started. The granite became slick. Grace told her father her shoes were slippery. Moments later, she lost her balance, slipped between the wooden planks, and started sliding. Her father reached for her. She was already gone. Grace fell 250 feet. She sustained a severe head fracture and likely died during the fall. It took rescue teams 3 hours to reach her. In 2010, Yosemite implemented a permit system. Only 300 people per day are allowed on the cables. Before permits, more than 1,200 attempted on busy weekends. Despite the reduction, deaths continued. Weather on Half Dome changes faster than most expect. The National Park Service warns hikers not to attempt the cables if storms are visible or if rain has started. Many ignore those warnings. They have traveled far. They won the permit lottery. They hiked 14 miles to reach the cables. Turning around feels like failure, so they continue, and some never come back. From the polished granite slopes of California, we move across the country to the opposite coast, to a mountain that does not belong on any list of America's deadliest peaks, at least not based on its size. Mountain 2, Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Mount Washington rises from the Presidential Range in northern New Hampshire, reaching 6,288 feet or 1,917 meters above sea level. It is the highest peak in the northeastern United States. By any standard, it is not particularly tall. Yet Mount Washington has killed more people than peaks 5 times its size. Since 1849, at least 161 people have died here. What makes those numbers shocking is that you can drive to the summit. A paved road has carried tourists since 1861. A cog railway has operated since 1869. Thousands reach the summit weekly without leaving their vehicles, yet the mountain kills regularly. The reason is simple. Mount Washington holds the world record for the worst weather ever observed. On April 12, 1934, observers recorded a wind gust of 231 miles per hour. That stood as the fastest wind speed on Earth's surface for over 60 years. Hurricane-force winds occur at 110 days per year. On February 3, 2023, the mountain recorded a wind chill of minus 108 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest ever measured in the United States. Winds sustained over 100 miles per hour for 13 hours. Exposed skin froze in under 60 seconds. The mountain sits where 3 major storm tracks converge. Weather from the Pacific, Atlantic, and Canada all intersect here. Temperature differences between base and summit regularly exceed 30 degrees. Hikers leave in summer clothing and die of hypothermia hours later. The accessibility makes it deadly. Because you can drive up, people assume hiking will be easy. The Tuckerman Ravine Trail gains 4,000 feet in 4 miles, steeper per mile than many Colorado peaks. Yet hikers attempt it in sneakers, without jackets, carrying no supplies. In 1855, Lizzie Bourne attempted the summit with her uncle and cousin. As they climbed, temperatures dropped. Exhausted and hypothermic, she stopped moving. They built a shelter and waited. Lizzie died during the night. When weather cleared, the summit building was visible less than 200 feet away. In June 2022, Shi Chen texted his wife from the Gulfside Trail, saying he felt he would die without rescue. Conditions included freezing temperatures, sleet, and 80-mile-per-hour winds. It was June. Despite rescue efforts, he did not survive. He had summited 19 of New Hampshire's peaks. What makes Mount Washington the ultimate underestimated peak is the disconnect between appearance and reality. People see a road, a railway, families at the Summit Cafe. They assume it is safe. Then they step onto the trail and discover infrastructure at the top does not protect you on the way up. From the wind-scoured ridges of New Hampshire, we move west to the Pacific Northwest, to a volcano visible from a major city that kills climbers precisely because it looks so approachable. Mountain number 3, Mount Hood, Oregon. Mount Hood rises from the Cascade Range in northern Oregon, roughly 50 miles east of Portland. The mountain reaches 11,250 feet or 3,429 meters above sea level. From the city, it appears as a perfectly shaped volcanic cone, snow-covered and inviting. On clear days, you can see it from downtown Portland. That visibility is part of the problem. Mount Hood looks approachable. That appearance has proven deadly. Since records began, more than 130 people have died on Mount Hood, with 46 deaths since 2002 alone. The mountain kills 3 to 4 climbers per year. What makes this striking is that Mount Hood is widely considered one of the easiest major peaks in the Cascades. The south side route is often called beginner-friendly, perfect for someone attempting their first glaciated peak. Climbing schools use it for training. Thousands of novice climbers attempt it yearly. Many succeed, but the reputation has created dangerous false confidence. Mount Hood is a stratovolcano with 11 glaciers. Those glaciers hide crevasses beneath thin snow bridges. The rock is loose and unstable. Rockfall is constant. Weather changes rapidly, shifting from clear skies to whiteout blizzards within minutes. Most parties start around midnight, aiming to summit by dawn and descend before the sun warms the snow. Miss that window and danger increases significantly. The most hazardous section is the Hogsback, a steep snow ridge leading to the summit. From there, climbers navigate either the Pearly Gates, a narrow chute between rock formations, or the Old Chute. Both are steep and exposed. Both require ice axe skills and self-arrestability. Many climbers do not have those skills. In May 1986, students and faculty from Oregon Episcopal School were descending when a severe storm moved in. 7 students and 2 adults died from hypothermia and falls. It remains one of the deadliest U.S. climbing accidents. The group had summited under clear conditions. By afternoon, temperatures dropped and visibility disappeared. The group became disoriented. 9 bodies were found the next day. In December 2006, 3 experienced climbers went missing during a winter ascent. One was found dead in a snow cave. The other 2 were never recovered. In 2024, a climber fell several hundred feet in the Pearly Gates and did not survive. These are not rare events. They happen regularly. What makes Mount Hood perfectly underestimated is the combination of proximity, beauty, and reputation. It sits within easy reach of a major city, looks stunning, and has been marketed as accessible mountaineering. All of those factors encourage attempts from people who are not ready. From the volcanic peaks of the Pacific Northwest, we move to the Rocky Mountains, to a peak inside one of America's most visited national parks that kills climbers every year because they mistake a maintained trail for an easy hike. Mountain number 4, Longs Peak, Colorado. Longs Peak rises from Rocky Mountain National Park in northern Colorado, visible from Denver on clear days. The mountain reaches 14,259 feet, making it the highest peak in the park. From a distance, it appears hikeable by anyone in reasonable shape. That perception has proven fatal. Since 1884, more than 70 people have died attempting Longs Peak. What makes this striking is that it is not Colorado's most difficult 14er, yet it has the highest failure rate. Roughly half of all climbers turn back before reaching the top, a higher failure rate than Mount Everest when adjusted for attempts. Between 10,000 and 15,000 people attempt it yearly. The accessibility is the problem. The park is 2 hours from Denver. The trailhead is reachable by paved road. From the parking lot, it looks achievable. The route covers 15 miles with over 5,000 feet of vertical gain. The first 6 miles follow maintained trail to the boulder field at 12,700 feet. Then the trail ends. Beyond, painted bullseyes mark the route, but navigating requires scrambling ability and comfort with extreme exposure. The route has 4 sections: the ledges, the trough, the narrows, and the homestretch. The narrows is where most deaths occur. This ledge traverses the south face, never less than 3 feet wide, but both sides drop steeply. To the right is a 200-foot fall onto rock. When wet or icy, it becomes nearly impossible to cross. In October 2016, a 61-year-old man slipped on ice crossing the narrows. He fell 150 feet and died. The home stretch is a steep granite slab scrambled on all 4s. When wet, climbers who lose footing slide hundreds of feet. Most do not survive. Afternoon thunderstorms bring lightning threats. In July 2018, a 28-year-old man was struck while descending and killed instantly. Rangers advise starting by 3 a.m. to summit by noon. Most ignore that advice, start late, and find themselves exposed when weather moves in. What makes Longs Peak deadly is false security. It is in a national park with easy trailhead access and 6 miles of maintained trail. From a distance, it looks manageable. These factors encourage unprepared attempts. People arrive in sneakers without proper gear, with no scrambling experience or altitude training. When conditions deteriorate, they have no skills and no way out. From the exposed ridges of Colorado, we turn to California, where a mountain 2 hours from Los Angeles demonstrates how urban proximity creates deadly underestimation. Mountain number 5, Mount Baldy, California. Mount Baldy rises from the San Gabriel Mountains 50 miles east of Los Angeles. Officially, Mount San Antonio, it reaches 10,064 feet, the tallest peak in Los Angeles County. From the city, it is clearly visible. On clear days, you can see it from Hollywood. That proximity is the problem. Mount Baldy sits within reach of 24 million people, an hour's drive away, and it kills regularly. Since 2020, it has claimed at least 7 fatalities and triggered over 100 rescues. In December 2024, 3 hikers died in one day. What makes it perfectly underestimated is the summer to winter disconnect. During warmer months, it is a popular day hike. Thousands complete the 11-mile loop without incident. Then winter arrives, and the mountain transforms. The same trails become technical routes. Snow and ice cover slopes. Yet hikers continue treating it as a day hike, arriving in summer gear without ice axes or crampons. In January 2023, British actor Julian Sands, 65, an experienced mountaineer, left at 5:30 a.m. to hike Baldy Bowl. He never returned. 6 months later, hikers found his remains. Among them were microspikes, cleats for gentle ground, not crampons. Even an experienced climber underestimated conditions. That month, Crystal Paula Gonzalez fell 500 feet down an icy slope and died. In April 2017, 78-year-old Sam Kim died after summiting over 700 times. On his final climb in heavy rain, he became disoriented and descended the wrong way. His body was found 1,000 feet below the summit. He was 13 days from his 80th birthday. Mount Baldy has a ski resort with lifts carrying people partway up. That creates false security. The Devil's Backbone Trail runs along an exposed ridgeline with steep drops. Under summer conditions, manageable. Under winter ice and 60-mile-per-hour winds, a death trap. Temperature swings add danger. It can be 90 degrees in Hollywood and below freezing on the summit. Most LA residents have never experienced true cold. After 3 December 2024 deaths, the Forest Service closed 7 trails. Violations carry $5,000 fines and 6 months in jail. Mount Baldy continues to kill people who underestimate it. From the icy ridges of Southern California, we reach the end of this list with one final truth. These mountains represent some of the most underestimated peaks in the United States, but they are not the only ones. Across the country, accessible mountains near major cities continue to kill climbers who mistake convenience for safety. What makes these particular peaks so deadly is not their height or technical difficulty. It is the illusion they create. Mountains with parking lots, mountains with cable systems, mountains with ski lifts, mountains visible from downtown. All of these features suggest that the mountain has been tamed, made safe, brought under control. They have not. A paved road to the summit does not protect you on the trail. Steel cables do not prevent falls on wet granite. A ski lift does not prepare you for winter conditions above treeline. Infrastructure creates access, not safety, and that gap between access and preparation is where people die. The common thread connecting every mountain on this list is underestimation. Hikers see a small peak and assume it will be easy. They see crowds and assume it must be safe. They see families at the summit and assume the route is suitable for everyone. None of those assumptions are true. Mount Washington is shorter than most Colorado peaks, but has killed more people than mountains twice its height. Half Dome has cables installed specifically to help climbers, yet those cables have become the scene of dozens of fatal falls. Mount Baldy sits an hour from Los Angeles, yet it kills experienced mountaineers who underestimate winter conditions. The lesson is clear. Respect the mountain, not the parking lot. Check the weather, not the webcam at the summit. Prepare for the worst conditions, not the best. And if something feels wrong, turn around. The summit will be there next year. You might not be. So which of these mountains would you never attempt? Or have you climbed one and experienced just how deceptive it can be? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content on America's most dangerous peaks, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.